Go.
Alright, so here we have a show match between Miguel and Dobbs. I paid them $10 for whoever wins each game. Miguel is over here in Vikings, Dobbs over in the Franks. I'm losing my voice, I've been ill too long. But Miguel, a very well known player, he has played in arena show matches before. He's quite a good arena player. We also have Titans of Arena to reflect on, where he had won that with his team was Eddie and Doubt, I believe, that he won with. And over here we have Dobbs, a well-known 2K Plus arena player, but there's not too much else to say about him. So Nova, what do you know about these players?
Well, I know Miguel quite a bit because he has been playing, of course, many other maps. I have not seen Dobbs play very much, but this experience today, this opportunity to co-cast arena games with you, it's going to be a great learning opportunity for me because arena is definitely not my area of expertise. So I'm here to learn, man. And
Well, I mean, you don't see too many meta strategies from either of these players. Dobbs, he likes to trush a lot, but you will see him do, some very good arena types of unit choices that you won't usually see in Arabia. So I guess that's going to be good. So let's just move on to the maps of these players. Over on the leftish side, we have Miguel. His map looks pretty mammoth, to be honest. Like double berries, it's much better to have double berries, and the Franks not having double berries, obviously. He has a nice safe stone in the back. Looking towards his forward, both his stones are very, very safe. His Vikings, you might want to make Berserks, which are very strong units, so that's good. The main gold is pretty bad, but he does have the 2 golds in the back, 1 extra, 1 second, and that's quite a lot of gold. So if you do get pushed because someone sees your main gold, then, you're still going to be fine. So, also with the extra stone in the back, Miguel has a lot of stone and a decent amount of safe gold. His map's not even that exposed. Double berries as well, that's just some godly stuff right there.
yeah. Hey, do you think we're going to see Berserks with Chieftain this?
Against Franks, it's likely they're still okay, but we're probably going to see like pike spam with Chieftains at some point. It's just a generally more cost-effective version. Chieftain Zerks are
right.
Yeah, in 1v1 they're still quite expensive. You see them kind of often, but things like fast Arbram or taking map control when you're Vikings is still quite common because of the good early economy.
Alright.
Vikings are a good civ, but Franks are honestly actually one of the top civs. So moving on to their map. What do you see?
Well, I'm thinking about now something. So you are very good with build orders, right? You have your guides and everything. And I have seen that there's a variety of ways to go for fast cast. So what do you think we're going to...
Lost the chat there we go. Well, from the Frank player, we're probably going to see a fast-ish up. I mean, a common way, not for Vikings, but for Franks to start is with opening with scouts, where you FC with the blacksmith in a stable. And you will then just make scouts after you click up to Castle Age. And that gives you a lot of map control. Like if the enemy tries to make monks to take the relics, you easily secure yourself all the relics. So it's a nice strategy to go. Also, you can kill any villagers that are trying to forward you. So I think that's really what we're going to see FC wise from Dobbs. It's just so common for Franks. I don't know what we're going to see for Miguel. With the Vikings, you could do semi-fast ups like 26 plus 2s, and then you could just add TCs and boom. The economy is so good with the free wheelbarrow and handcart, and you could imp really, really quickly. So,
well, so I think probably the Frank player is going to benefit most from the relic.
I mean, relics are looking pretty equal, but yeah, he's gonna definitely be able to get the relics. Vikings don't rely as much on relics as Franks would, because Franks do have the pretty strong power options in comparison, and also they do have hand cannoneer against berserks and infantry, that kind of thing. So Franks are just a very good civ overall, and I think if they can get the relics here, a pretty clear win.
Alright, so then that's going to be a kind of an uphill battle for the Viking player Miguel Sin here if he wants to go for the relics, especially if the Frank player is going to go for scout, as you were saying.
I mean, what I would kind of expect to see is some very fast 3TC from Miguel into some easy, cheap options. Probably not Pikes. I mean, it's more than likely never going to happen, but Arbalast, Siege Ram, that kind of thing, you know, the standard original Viking combo. It's pretty common. It's probably going to happen here. If you could catch someone out while they're in the middle of booming, and especially if you go scouts, you're actually going to be a little bit slower on the boom, then Arbram can really mess someone up.
Okay, let's see. Yeah, Dobbs pushing now the deer. It was outside the wall.
Dobbs going for the make all farms on your Feudal Age approach, which is kind of what you should be doing. But he is late to take gold.
Yeah, that seems to be the case. Usually you want to have already probably the last 3 villagers, right? That you make in Dark Age.
Well, the last 2 in Arena, always. Because if you don't get Loom, then you only need 2. But I think Dobbs just didn't make his mining camp, so then he sent 2 villagers after he clicked up to build mining camp, which will make him click up a little bit late, but it's not the end of the world.
Alright.
Miguel's build seems okay. I mean, both of them right now are doing 25 plus 2s. 25 plus 2s Vikings, it's sure, it's fine. It's nice for a quick 3TC boom. You're not going to get much aggression out of that. With Vikings, it's... Some strats you could go are things like Siege Tower Crossbow, because obviously they've got a good economy to support it. And, you know, they have decent crossbows, so it's a nice strategy. Looking over at Dobbs, though, we could quickly see what he's going already. He's building Blacksmith stable top, so he's going to go Scouts. 25 plus 2 is a really low pop build for Scouts. You can get them out early, and it's going to be, you know, nice, but you're not going to be expecting forwards all that fast, and your economy kind of suffers a bit by not doing a higher pop-up. So I'm not that big of a fan of this strategy, as in like the build he's using, but it works.
I see. So you were mentioning earlier that Franks, they can go for some power plays, but Vikings as well, they have cheaper options to go for Pikes, possibly Chieftains in the future. What do you think? Who do you think has probably the edge here in this match?
In terms of tech tree for realistic late game?
Yeah, for the
I think
1v1 and the way they are playing.
Franks still can really win this, especially if they go for some kind of option plus onager. Like, they don't want to be really going Cavalier all too much, but the thing is, if they are against, you know, Pikemen or Berserks, easily hand cannoneers, it's a really nice combination. Something Franks can do is they can always open Cavalier. A lot of cavalry says if you're allowed to boom and you can get a decent boom going, then it's perfectly fine for you to just open Cavalier, not make too many, but make enough. They're actually, you know, it's cheap to upgrade to that point. And they're very, very versatile. Like, if they start making pikes to counter it, you could just run away with your Cavalier, use them later to snipe siege or whatever. You can make some actual units like hand cannoneers, and then use your Cavalier to kill onagers, that kind of thing. So, I mean, it's a very versatile unit. I think it might be opened with. It depends if we see much early aggression from Dobbs, from Miguel here as the Viking player, but I think he's just going to boom.
Well, yeah, that certainly sounds like a very potentially annoying combo for Miguel to fight against. What do you think he can do to try and...
I think, as I said, Miguel just either puts in some early aggression in Castle H, which you can do, especially if you just add maybe 1 or 2 TCs, his Vikings maybe just 1, and then do like a forward siege workshop and start putting on the pressure just to lay the Frank boom a bit. And, you know, because, you know, 2 TCs is enough economy to go things like fast Arbalast, and Rams aren't all too expensive either way, so that kind of thing I would go for. But it looks like, yeah, he's going for 3 TC right now. It looks like Miguel makes a full intention to make good use of the boom with the Vikings with the free hand cart and wheelbarrow. Yeah,
that seems to be the case. At this point, Dobbs only going for 1 additional.
Dobbs can't afford more TCs. He's about to be able to afford another one now, but it's nearly 60 minutes, and sure, he's getting 1 TC up. He's not building another one now. We've what is that TC from Dobbs on the right? What is that? That's disgraceful. Oh, that's so bad.
Oh, it's so far away. It doesn't have room for farms either.
It's not even a good TC. Ah, that's so bad. Either way, it's if he went up on a slightly higher population, he would already have both these TCs up by now. He's only got 1, building the second one. and the map situation, you know, he wouldn't have any more or less map control. Right now you can just see Dobbs running around the TC of Miguel, trying to find weak villagers to snipe.
Yes, yes. So do you think it was probably better to delete the lumber camp and place the TC just by the wood, or do you think it was better probably to place it a bit more far away so that he could have more room?
It would have been better just place it a bit closer, in my opinion. Probably delete the lumber camp. He does have other resources that he could have added a TC on. He did get the extra gold in the back. That's a little bit far. I wouldn't agree with that one too much. But, you know, maybe his main gold, I would have probably put a TC on as well. See where his stable is. I mean, he's already got kind of a wall coming out where his stable is, the full building wall in the front, so he doesn't really need protection on that right side.
Right. Hey, what time are you in?
I'm on 18:30.
Alright, alright.
You before or ahead?
Just got up now.
So as you see, Dobbs is just taking in the relics. He does have more military, but he is behind in villager production.
Yes.
And of
7
course,
villagers now.
yeah. He does have wheelbarrow? No, he doesn't. I can't tell, I'm checking.
Yeah, same. He has...
Oh, no he doesn't, he has heavy plough. I was wondering why his villagers were carrying 11.
Right.
But I always forget about that one. But yeah, he doesn't have wheelbarrow, so he's behind even more villagers. Of course, Vikings being, well, about 6 villagers ahead because wheelbarrow then handcart. So he's really far behind at this point.
Well, Dobbs now is going forward with 2 villagers, and he's using 3 scouts to protect.
Well, Dobbs is going 3 villagers on a stone, but not adding more TCs. So with Franks, I'd probably not have 3, but maybe 4 or 5 on stone, just so you can build the castle at some point, like before Imp, just right at the point where it's like, you know, they're trying to build their production buildings, you're just putting pressure on them at the right time. But aside from that, I don't think he's going to have enough stone to do much with it. He might be able to have a defensive castle at home later if he needs it, but that's going to be about it. Siege Workshop's going to be fine though, that gold is pretty risky. I mean, he sees everything with Outpost, he knows it's a main gold.
Yes.
Just to point out to chat, this was just a small sponsored show match. There's no particular reason these two players are facing each other aside from some money.
Do you think Miguel is going to expect the Siege Workshop?
I don't really think so. I mean, now he's adding more into the gold up front. I think he's just expecting Dobbs to go into, you know, full boom. Because you look at Dobbs' score, it's actually pretty decent considering the amount that he's had to boom against a Viking player score-wise. If nothing's happened so far, he could assume. Yeah, now you can see it. And Dobbs just letting Miguel know that he's right there with that mangonel, instead of just not attacking and waiting until you got something good in terms of hits.
Yeah. Well, that's good. He's going to move Miguel out of that goal.
Miguel's castle here is a little bit odd. I think it's probably just a bit far behind. You could have placed it further. I mean, it could have been a slight issue if he built it a little bit forward and the mangonel hit happened to land right where he tried to build it. And then it disappeared, but nah. I just think this is a little bit odd in terms of placement a little bit far back.
I think he could probably have tried to time it so that the villagers start building it after the mangonel shoots. How much ping do these players have? So Miguel's from Brazil, right? And
they have what, 400?
so
350?
Yeah, okay. So they have, yeah, they have some latency. Probably too risky.
So both players are now on 4 TC, but Miguel is, what is that? That's just 24 villagers ahead. Plus, I'm not even sure what upgrades from the TC that Dobbs has. Dobbs has... oh, he has wheelbarrow and handcart now. Getting skill mail armor. That's an interesting move. Oh, that's Miguel. So it's just... I always usually see Dobbs in the green.
Yeah, yeah, that can be confusing. It has happened to me as well. So that castle is probably going to be enough to stop this, right? Almost one man.
Yeah, there's nothing that Dobbs can really do against that castle except build his own and then go imp. I mean, he is starting to pile up the gold. He's what, 100 gold away from building 100 stone away from Frank Castle. He could even buy it if he wanted to. Because it's what, 488?
Behind, though.
Well, I mean, Dobbs is really far behind in the economy.
Yeah. It was 27 villagers a couple of seconds ago, actually. Right now, it's not so much.
In the late game, Frank's really win this matchup, especially now that Dobbs has 4 relics. I believe there's still one on the field. Yep, which he's about to grab.
Oh, did you see that? Dobbs, he killed his own scouts with the.
Dobbs is at his absolute peak performance at this moment.
Oh, that was so bad because he was using attack ground, right? So he killed the berserks, but he forgot to tell the Magnus to stop attacking, and the scouts were there.
Maybe he was doing it deliberately. He doesn't need the scouts anyway. He might as well guarantee the kills on the units. Because if he doesn't, then he loses 2 Magnus. That's some 2k tactics. That's incidentally at the time of this game.
Just let your enemy know you don't need military.
Yeah, so at the time of this game, Dobbs was 2069 and Miguel was 2245 rating, which is quite low for Miguel recently.
Yes, that's the case.
So Miguel is clearly taking into Zerks. He's making quite a few, adding a second blacksmith. If he's adding a second blacksmith, that usually indicates to me that they want to tech switch, so maybe into Arbs. Because you don't need two blacksmiths to just make infantry armor upgrades and attack upgrades. You really want to be switching if you're doing that. The amount of resources Miguel has is huge. 1k food, 1k gold, and now he's spending it all. Conscription, chieftains, playmill armor, iron casting.
Yeah, I just wanted to point out, as I was telling you before starting the stream, there's some construction work going on over here, so if I go silent for too long, that's probably why. I'm waiting until they stop me.
We'll just assume you're dead. Throwing axes.
Alright, that also works.
Throwing axes from the Frank player. Throwing axes is good, they will kill berserks quite easily. The only thing they're really vulnerable to is Arbalast. Forcing Vikings to make Arbalast against a good cavalry civ though, a little bit different.
Yeah, that's gonna be hard. So it's quite usual, right, in Arena to delay all the upgrades until you have your eco sword. Because I was seeing Miguel going for scale mail armor, like,
and then he cancelled it
up to Imperial Age, and that's yeah,
because you don't need it any before then, so you might as well click up earlier. Then you imp faster, and then you can get it on the way up. So then you've got it earlier in the end. It's worth it.
So you just optimize everything to boom and go up as fast as possible, and then you start going for the upgrades later.
Yeah. Dobbs no longer has a seed workshop, so I don't see him building another one. It doesn't look like he wants to go throwing axes plus onager. He's building archery ranges now, so it looks like he's trying to make hand cannoneers against the bomber cannons. He's getting chemistry, iron casting. He's going to have a decent army composition here, but if he doesn't add onagers, he's going to find it hard to beat Vikings a bit later. Looking at Miguel's resources, he is thriving with resources. He's currently 21 villagers ahead, he's full boomed. But he is, of course, behind 5 relics now. Dobbs doing quite a smart move, moving the relics from a front monastery to a back one. In case you get pushed, you still have a chance with all this back area to build. You have a chance to recover, so moving them to the back is always a nice thing to do.
Quick update, I'm not dead yet.
Yet. Berserks are quite easy to counter here, they're quite expensive, and that's a lot of investment already from Miguel. He's now taking into Bodkin, padded arch armor, he's going to have the Arbalast he needs. No onagers yet from Dobbs, he's adding bomber cannons since he's got chemistry. He'll help him kill the castles. But no onager, so it's going to be a bit difficult for him. Dobbs losing access to another outside goal, but he does again have a nice one in the back, so it's a nice map. That's a lot of 4 villagers from
Alright.
Miguel. So
He's going now for the bombard cannons. So he has a hand cannoneers, and throwing axemen and bombard cannons. Also a couple of magnus. Magnus probably not going to be very useful at this point though. Oh, look at the castle there. From
what time are
Dobbs.
you at?
34 right now.
Same. Oh, the one that just got
so
denied.
he's trying to go for a castle, and it's
That's been built equally as fast as it's going down. Oh, it's going down slightly faster.
Yeah. Oh no! Oh no! That's not the.
Well, Dobbs is getting his army out this way, so it's okay. Dobbs doesn't. He's still getting some. How many bomber cannons do you have? He has 2. That's not going to cut it. That's a lot of onagers coming from Miguel.
Look at the trebuchets.
Oh yeah, that castle's going down in 2 hits. That's a lot of stone gone.
3 trebuchets. Onagers now as well. The hand cannoneers are not going to leave much longer over there. Oh, that's great.
Yeah, this is a strong combination from Miguel right now. It can die to, you know, onager, hand cannoneer, that kind of thing. But the thing is, Miguel's already ahead. He's already got siege engineers, and he's working his way towards siege ram. I saw capture ram being researched. He's massing up some capture rams. He's about to have the food for siege ram. So now we're about to see siege ram transition into something else. We saw bot canal, but that's for the castles. A bracer even. Are we going to see Miguel make Arblast to complement his siege ram?
Miguel going for runs. Well. Oh no. Oh no.
You can't quick ball against that. They just cut more trees. Oh, that's so difficult.
Exactly.
That army there is just going to get cleaned up. But it's going to do a lot of economy damage. We're 134 versus 116. This might drop Dobbs by maybe another 15 maybe.
Yeah, that's just going to make him fall behind even further.
That's a really good castle placement.
Yeah, it's still open.
Castle placement, a lot of throwing axes. That's going to definitely... Dobbs can replace these villagers, but Miguel replacing his army is going to be a little bit more difficult. But Miguel is pushing from the front at the same time. He's got more berserks. Building a bunch of ranges. We're going to see skirms. Definitely not. Not against throwing axemen. Maybe a little bit against the hand cannoneer. But he does have a decent bit of gold still. He still has a full 3 gold tiles in the back of his map. And there's still a lot of gold in his main gold, so he could afford to go Arbalast. He can build another castle.
Yes.
He's got 4 already. Dobbs is down to 2.
Hey, did you see if Dobbs cancelled the castle or if he got destroyed?
The one on the right, it got destroyed.
Oh, alright.
Miguel doesn't have enough onagers. He's trying to go for the siege ram, but they're just going to melt to the throwing axemen at the same time as the berserks. It's not a good combination. Half decent onager hit on the throwing axes, but that's not gonna cut it.
Yes. I thought that was a good shot as well.
I don't see a tech switch coming from Dobbs, but the thing is, I think his army is going to work as it is. As long as he gets maybe... There we go, this is the bomber cannon I was hoping for. If he gets that out, he can snipe just the 1 or 2 onagers that we see here from Miguel, because he doesn't have enough, really. So now, what's Miguel going to do?
Yeah, it's very fortunate for him that the throwing axemen, they deal so much damage to the rounds, otherwise it'd be looking quite bad for him, even worse.
Well, all these trebs are about to go down from Miguel, and the berserks can't fight the throwing axemen, so we need to see more Arbalast. Oh,
he's adding so many archery ranges.
Look in the 1 archery range from Miguel, the top right one.
Let's see. Oh no, the multi-queue.
Yep.
Or the single queue in this case.
Absolutely trolled by single queue.
Get wrecked.
He's making like 1 Arbalast per minute at the moment. Wow.
And he hasn't noticed yet.
Oh, that's so bad. 2 of them are queued up, and that's it. He's 171 pop, and look at his resources, they're huge, and he's got no units.
Yeah, he's using the 2 top.
That's so unfortunate. If he had Arbalast right now, the throwing axemen and the hand cannoneers stand no chance, and the bomber cannons aren't enough to snipe them.
Yes, I agree.
That's Dobbs' army GG. If he just had the extra like 20 Arbalast he would have right now if he had them. That's so bad.
Well, this just seems to be like kind of help that Dobbs needs this.
Ah, it's so bad. And it's still happening.
Yes. It's taking a quite long time to notice. However, now with bombard cannons, probably it seems like Dobbs gonna be fine for the time being. Miguel's taking so long to switch into Arbalest, so that he's pretty much Dobbs at this point pretty much fighting with the same army that he was fighting just a moment ago. So that's not good for Miguel, and yeah, that castle's not getting repaired.
Yeah, Miguel just does not have enough Arbalast. He might be able to take down this front castle and probably push in, start doing some damage, but now the light cav are coming out. The light cav are going to be great at sniping any form of siege. So no onagers are going to work in this case because A, a lot of bomber cannons, and B, just a lot of other units mixed in, like the light cav coming in to snipe the trebs. And also the onagers.
Well, now Miguel is not even producing from 2 ranges, he's only producing from the...
That's so bad. If he had Arbalast right now, he could win this fight easily.
Yeah,
Oh,
and look at the
so
amount.
sorry.
He already has a couple of arbalests, so if he was producing with all the ranges, it's quite surprising that he's not noticing that he has so little at this point.
That's tragic. It's painful. Not too much happening in Miguel's base right now, but he would probably want to patch that hole in the front of his base in case the light cav raiding. Same for the side. He now knows there's light cav, which have, you know, the full attack upgrade, but they're missing 1 cavalry armor upgrade. Not a big issue when you're against, like, berserks, but we'll see what happens. In terms of extra resources on the map, both players had the 2 extra golds in the back of their base. So there's nothing out on the map, just Dobbs' 2nd gold on the right there, which he doesn't seem to be taking, but he could take if he wanted to. And look at Dobbs' gold.
Very interesting. Deploying the trebuchets over there in the middle of the...
Well, if you want to kill something. I guess they're there to snipe the bomber cannons. Dobbs still
so.
not noticed.
How many trebuchets has he lost already? Probably like 5.
Probably more than that.
Yeah, that's 1,000 resources. 2,000 resources.
So another castle going down. We see 4 still kind of safe-ish, so a lot of berserks can still be made if you wanted to make berserks. Looking at his castles as well, he doesn't realise it's SQ still with them. His ranges are still 15 queued up in 1. He has 0 army. And look at his resources. 3k wood, 4k food, 1k gold, and he's not doing anything with it.
He has such a large eco and he is still at 107.
If he had a lot of Arbalast and a lot of siege, and I mean a lot of siege, then he just needs to mix in a small amount of berserks and he could win this. But he's not making any army because it's single queue.
Do you think he's trolling you?
Dobbs,
It's really hard to believe that he didn't notice after so long.
Well, Dobbs was the host, so we could all blame Dobbs. Always blame Dobbs. He's the result of everything you should blame. Miguel does still have 4 trebs, but he really wants to move them to safety. They're kind of sitting ducks right there for a few light cav. This army from Dobbs is just can't really beat it. But he has a lot of military. Dobbs' military count is huge. He lost some villagers and is not replacing them.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's trying to just nerf himself.
Too strong, needs nerfed.
There you go, not multi-queue! Finally starts using old buildings he had.
But the thing is, it's too late. Now he needs to build like some absolute mass racks and spam like 8 racks worth of pikemen and then like mix in some Arbalast or skirms or something. It's the best he could do.
He's not using all the ranges though, he's only using like 4.
It looks like he's actually improving that one a little bit. Slightly.
Yeah, it's still miles ahead of using a single one.
Right, so just to point this out to chat, because someone's asking about it. If you are in the Vibly game lobby, and then you go to the game at the top, go to V1.5 beta R7, and then go to game mechanics. You can turn on multiple building queue. Then whenever you're the host, it will automatically be MQ instead of SQ. And you'll prevent incidents like this from happening. This is tragic.
Yeah, well, if he was a true pro, he wouldn't have had that issue because multi-gifts removes clearly.
Dobbs deleted some villagers, he's now down to 106 and 83 military. Now Miguel is actually capped, he does have 64 military, a bit too many villagers because he is floating nearly 6k wood and 5.5k food. Now he's finally building ranks.
Both players getting up to 200 pop. However, Miguel at this point with Vikings with 30% lead in eco or in villager count, it's going to be hard for Dobbs to actually keep up and sustain the army production. At this point, he barely has he doesn't have anywhere near the amount of resources that Miguel has.
But he still has a lot. Like this, both these players have like the Miche resources right now. It's tragic to see, but the thing is, Dobbs has 5 relics and he has 2.2k gold. He could go on forever, especially with his resources. He's not losing units because, you know, Miguel isn't really just making enough for the units to kill him. Dobbs kind of has a weird death ball here. Like this light cav throwing X-Men hand cannoneer onager mix with bomber cannons. It's kind of a thing that counters everything that actually, you know, is still strong enough to use. Yeah, now Miguel's population's dropping like crazy. He now has a bunch of light cav at his door that could just run right into his base right now if they wanted to. Castle's getting trapped, he only has 3 left, he's about to go down to 2.
Yeah, he is struggling a bit now in the gold front, and he doesn't have any relics, so that's going to be even harder now as he is starting to finish the main gold over there. And where were the other golds? I think he already finished one of those.
There's still 1 gold for Dobbs over on the right. You can see the Arbalast from Miguel just killed all the villagers on it, so Dobbs dropped down to 88 villagers. But he's just using all that extra population room to spam on military. So the amount of army going against Miguel is even bigger now that he killed some vills.
Well, Dobbs is going to go now for a siege workshop over there. He is also dropping a couple stables. Hopefully he's going to try to defend against the Arbalest, but he's going to need to take control of that gold once again. Fortunately for him, he still has over 2k gold.
Yeah, the relics are huge. It's just he made a good move getting the relics. Any civ getting the relics is a good move.
He is struggling with wood and food though, and only 160 pop now.
I wouldn't really call it struggling when he's just not floating like Miguel. I mean, 7k food for Miguel, what is this? This is... Delete some farmers.
He's not producing a lot of units. Dobbs at this point. He's going heavily into throwing X-Men. I think that's the only unit that he's going for. He's not using stables, he's not using the siege workshops or the ranges.
Well, the throwing X-Men seem to be working, so I can't really fault him for going them. There's not much...
Good point,
well, I mean, Miguel no longer has gold, so... And obviously since he's making pikemen and some skirmishers, Dobbs can see that, so he's just making throwing X-Men, and without gold there's no way that a Viking player can counter that.
And well, in the end, it seems like the Frank player is indeed going for the power play.
Yeah, look at the populations again. It's now going to 97 vills for Dobbs and 103 military for Dobbs.
That's a good point. I don't think Miguel is using the market so much just yet, right? Because, let me see the prices. Yeah, alright, so food's no longer usable. It's not worth to sell so much. Wood still can get you some gold, but it's also not ideal.
Yeah, look, Miguel's army is now useless. It's half split, so half is on one side of the map, half is on the other. He's got 62 left, which I guess is added up. A lot of it's just pikemen though, running into throwing axemen and hand cannoneers. Skirmishers aren't going to help him at all. I don't quite know why he's making skirms. They're not really going to deal with the hand cannoneer too well. But he's only got 1 castle left, and now it's just a mass of light cows running into his base. I would call this GG. I would have called it GG 10 minutes ago, but this is Dark Noob level of waiting to resign.
Yeah, this is not looking like Miguel is going to be able to do anything at this point. Well, now all the eco that he has is getting idle. He's probably still gonna clear the cavalry up, but what is he gonna do with so much food, so much wood? He cannot go for any trash units. He doesn't have gold. Now the bombard cannons, the trebuchets, all the siege is pushing.
Yeah, I think Andrew's the only way he could go here, but he has no. He just doesn't have a mass of anything to protect his siege workshops right now. He doesn't have room anymore. Dobbs just pushed the whole
Yeah,
map.
I think he has two Angers garrison in one of the siege
Yeah.
workshops. But yeah, the two is not gonna be enough.
And it's not going to do anything about the 3 light cav sitting there as well. Just waiting for the GG call at this point. Dobbs is so far ahead.
Yes. Yeah, the game looks quite over.
And all
What
because
do
of
you
single
think?
queue.
Yeah, of course, yeah. That's because Miguel was clearly a noob. So, what do you think he could have done differently, other than, of course, making use of sync?
I think maybe he could have pushed, maybe done Siege Tower Expo or something. You can also still take map control as Vikings, like if you are going against scouts, going crossbows is actually a good option. Because they still kill monks, but if you have, you know, 6 crossbows with fletching, that can actually kill some light cav as well. They have to really invest take map control at that point if you actually go into crossbows. It's a natural transition and it doesn't really stop you booming as much as going or adding scouts. And GG called from Miguel. Game
There
1
you
for
go,
Dobbs.
GG.
That's astonishing.
Good game, good game. And, well, Miguel over there, probably going a bit too... I'm not sure. I wouldn't say sloppy, but it seems like he was a bit too greedy. He was pushing in Castle Age, I mean in early Imperial Age, actually. He got pushed back. He didn't really have the army composition. He didn't really have the numbers. Very unfortunate event with all the ranges and
Yeah. Quick look at the achievements. Dobbs has nearly 500 kills, 330 losses. It's a pretty significant difference. At the food,
that's a great...
the food, wood, and stone collected is pretty far ahead for Miguel. And gold collected, he's actually not that far behind. His economy was far better, but the units he made, and, well, the lack of units he made were quite bad.
Yeah.
Castle time's pretty similar, nothing special there. Miguel obviously imping a bit faster because of Viking Eco and Boom, incredibly strong, and they both did kind of similar things.
Mm-hmm.
I think Berserks was just generally a bad thing to go. I don't see why he went Berserks, really. Especially since we're seeing throwing axemen coming from Dobbs. I think Arbram would have been quite a bit stronger. And also fast enough to prevent Dobbs from making cavalry to retaliate. A 28-minute, 25 Imperial time, that's really slow compared to a 3TC boom. Like a Viking 3TC boom, you'll be up in the 26-minute range. So can you imagine if he did that, he was up 26 or something minutes with a Siege Workshop, he started researching Capped Ram, Arbalast right away, making, you know, a couple Siege Workshop and a couple ranges worth of Rams and Arbs at the time. That would have killed Dobbs quite early, or at least forced him back into his base to defend.
Yeah, and once again, it seems like Arbalest was the key, and unfortunately, the Throne X-Men did so much damage to the army that he had. So yeah, it was very unfortunate not having the Arbalest. Let me know when you're ready to go for game 2. I'm gonna...
Yeah, I'm going to... No, I've just quickly checked to see the rail goal is 5.6k for Dobbs, which is huge. I'm going to go to the bathroom, so I'm going to wait until next game.
All right.
and I am back. Are you there?
All right. Yes, I'm here.
Alright, I've got game 2 selected, ready to press OK to start it. You want to count us down?
Perfect. All right, so 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, so here we are. We are Miguel with the Goths and Dobbs with the Celts, 2 infantry civs I can see right off the bat. We already introduced the players last game, so there's no point in doing it again, so let's just jump straight into what the maps look like. With Miguel, I'm probably just going to be quite happy about his map here because, you know, a really good back main gold there. A nice back stone, which as Goths could be quite important, especially if you need to defend early. A nice second gold in the back, that's a lot of extra gold if you need it. So if you get pushed, you're pretty safe with Miguel's map right now. Yes. Nothing else I see that's extraordinary about it. Kind of average stuff outside second stone. You have a second gold outside somewhere. Yeah, there is. That's about it. Is it mode queue now? Miguel asking the questions that matter.
Yes, it is mode queue. It's on.
So what do you see about Dobbs' map?
Well, yeah, I was taking a look at this, and the main goal for Dobbs, I was making the calculus here, and I believe it's within range of Mangonel, so it could be potentially harassed, but I don't think Dobbs is going to be harassed here. I think probably Dobbs is actually going to try to be offensive to prevent Miguel from reaching that sweet spot for Guts. As for the other goals, he has a secondary goal on the back. He has a stone on the back as well, so very similar map generation for both of them. And the missing secondary gold is also outside the wall, so very, very similar for both players.
Yeah, I need to stop randomly coughing. I'm also quite happy by the way Dobbs lamed his berries with that starting house. That happens to me all the time and I'm a bit salty it does.
Oh.
But both have good maps. Celts overall should win this one later game. Goths can win if they have some good map control. But that's about it. I do prefer Celts to Goths, and Celts usually do win this matchup, but don't forget Goths have hand cannoneer, and that's kind of a problem for the Celts.
Yes. Also, I was taking a look at the neutral goals, and I think the one in the north is a bit closer to Dobbs' base, and the one in the south is probably a bit closer to Miguel's base.
Either way, it's nice to actually not have any extras in the back. Now the 1 extra stone and 2 extra golds just floating around the map.
Yes,
speaking of which, relic-wise, you know, I do prefer the relics for Miguel here. It doesn't make a big difference, but you'll see how they both try and play for the map.
So one thing, also a small difference between Goths and Celts is the Goths, they get bloodlines.
Huh?
Yeah, the God player is going to get bloodlines, so he can potentially go for cavalry as well if he wants to try and take control of the map. And try to get
like
relics.
if a freaking thing to do with Goths is to try and take map control, that way you don't get pushed, because if you get pushed with a weak economy, which Goths don't have any eco bonuses, then you lose.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Having bloodlines is actually nice if you want to do things like, you know what Melkor does with like mass knights or something in Castle Age. They don't exactly have a good cavalier, but you know it's a good start really.
Yeah, and I mean it's not like they have a lot of.
I mean, they have all these options that are good in Castle Age, but not good in Imp. But the thing is that doesn't matter, because in Imp they have the infantry, so... The strategy we can commonly see from both Goths and Celts, but not against each other, is Pikeman Mangonel. Pike Mango is really a good strategy if you want to take map control. It doesn't do too much against a certain amount of civs, but there are specific civs like Persians, especially Magyars actually for some reason. Pikeman Mangonel, it just destroys them. Or at least if it doesn't, it does a decent amount of pressure. You've got map control, you can take the relics, you can boom behind it. Nice strategy. Of course Celts want to do it because the faster spearmen are nice. And obviously the Mangonel is far faster.
Yeah, that's a good combination.
And Goths have it as a good fallback. It's the one strategy they really have an early economy bonus for. Is massing a bunch of spearmen. You'd be surprised how hard it is to actually beat, you know, like 10 spearmen, not upgraded or anything, just 10 spearmen. That to protect like 4 mangonels, you can't even Vil Rush that. It's such a tricky situation to be in. And also really cheap, so you can boom behind it when you're doing it, and yeah.
So as expected, we're going to see Dobbs going for faster field,
What the
he's potentially going to try to go for.
What the hell is Dobbs doing?
I believe he might try to tower hop. I don't think it's very realistic.
Two on gold, not going for stone, and the amount of wood he has, 5 on wood. That's too much. Is he trying to do 23 plus 2? What the?
I'm not sure. I am the plebist of all the plebs as for arena, so I'm here to learn. I'm probably going to learn something valuable from Dobbs' strategy here.
Don't. This is whatever he's doing. It's not. It's not good. He's gonna have to sell half the planet to be able to afford to click up. I was wondering why he had like 6 on berries earlier. Now it makes sense.
Do you think he's gonna try to go for YOLO, selling all the stone and everything?
If he does that, he won't be able to boom. So I can only assume he's going up this fast to do Pikeman Mangonel. Actually, that's the only thing you could really afford off this.
Well, this is shaping up to be an interesting game at least.
Oh, that's just so unexpected. But we see a 26 plus 2 from Miguel. I guess Miguel's thinking, oh, are you going to trust me or something? Of course, Miguel is going to lose his scout now because he is still Dark Age, yes. So he's just taking the fight to get whatever damage he can on the scout before he loses it. I'm just looking at Dobbs' resources here. I'm going to watch very, very carefully.
Somebody in chat saying he's a meta breaker. I dig it. We're going to see if he's a meta breaker or if he's going to get broken by...
Did Dobbs just be able to click up without selling anything? What is going on?
You're gonna have to go back and watch this pay more attention because this seems to be like a legit strategy.
He has nearly a villager worth of idle time, but Jesus, you shouldn't have to do this. This is such a zero eco anything.
Well, he's
what is he going to do?
Fast castle intimidation.
There's nothing he could do against Goths with whatever he's about to do. He's not going to make cavalry up, so he can't afford it. He's not going to make a range or anything. He went market up, so he's probably just going to go for unless he just wants to go like full siege push, like just siege workshop and then just make scorpions, mangonels.
Well, he's sending a couple of villagers forward. Let's see what he does.
Actually, yeah, full siege push makes more sense. I can see that. No, he's making a rack, so he's going pike mango. Wow.
Probably.
Dobbs. Yes. Why do you do this to me, Dobbs?
Is fantasy playing your matchup?
He has 3 villagers on food at the moment.
Well, he's gonna have enough to afford a couple more villagers.
Nothing is making sense anymore. Absolutely nothing. Oh man, what is life? Making spearmen.
There you go.
Siege workshop. He's going pike mango. But he's not going to be able to afford to add a single TC behind it to boom. He's not going to be able to get a monster up to take the relics while he does have map control. So he's going to have to somehow kill Miguel with this. If he doesn't, he's going to lose the game. That's all. But
for sure.
Can you do this?
Very, very high risk. And I'm not sure how much high reward. So I'm not very fluent in arena. I have not seen a lot of games, but this is probably one of the most aggressive, super fast castles that I have seen.
Yeah, it kind of is. But the thing is, he scouted 1 extra gold and 1 extra stone outside, but he scouted nothing else. So as far as Dobson knows, this is probably a safe map, and he gets housed, which is extra fun. But he doesn't see the main gold, he doesn't see the main stone, he doesn't see the other second gold. So you must assume he's at least got some kind of a safe map, so it's not a good strategy. Pretty suicidal. I think 2 TCs, good approach here. 2 TC just puts you ahead in the economy, but it still gives you resources to fight back. Not seeing Miguel wall.
He doesn't have enough. Yeah, he doesn't have enough people on food. He is full idle.
Dobbs is basically pulling an Eddie right now. That's fun. I love how he's still adding farms when he still has like 80 food and berries left. So, of course, Goths can't wall against this, aside from buildings, they don't have stone walls. So, I would expect maybe a couple more houses just to block things off a little bit more from Miguel here, but what he's currently doing is fine. His economy is looking pretty solid. Losing the mangonel though, that's not good.
Yeah, that was some good man under micro from Dobbs. So.
We're seeing Miguel going quite heavy on the stone, which is what you should be doing. Just getting one castle up to defend is going to be strong. And then like three Huskars clean up the entire army of Dobbs. So Dobbs can't really make anything that will be able to kill Huskars right now.
A castle here for sure would stop the entire...
There's a one mangonel trade. Yeah, 1 for 1, that's fine. The spearmen are going to be a nuisance.
What time are you at?
I am at 1756.
Alright.
What time are you at?
1813.
You're like 4 seconds ahead, that's not a problem.
Yeah, it's okay.
I don't... Look at the villager numbers. There's already a 10 difference for Dobbs, and he hasn't killed the villager yet. He's just adding a bunch of villagers to the wood line, idling his TC in the meantime. He's got 150 food, but he's still idling his TC.
Well, that siege workshop is going to go down. Now the TC is going to get threatened, but Miguel is already going for another siege workshop.
That's fine. I mean, how close is Miguel to a castle right now?
Oh, careful there. Oh! The mangonel there.
Ooh.
1 for 0?
The 1 for 0?
0 for 0!
Oh, the 1 for 2?
Still 2 for 0.
Plus the other 2 mangonels are half dead, so that counts as well.
Yeah, he's gonna try to repair them now. Alright, there you go. So the castle's finally gonna start going up. It's super defensive. He might end up losing the TC if he's not careful.
I think he is probably going to lose his TC if he doesn't repair it. If he repairs it, he's fine. He has enough mangonels there to basically just repair it. Like, if you have one mangonel, then if he's attacking your TC, you repair.
Yeah.
Ooh, the mangonel trade's not so good. But the castle will go up. It is pretty questionable. I would build it a lot closer to the TC. Like, just delete the 2 farms between TC and the siege workshop and build it there. But this will do either way.
Yeah, I agree.
Miguel's still not walled though. The top side of his base above the market. So spearmen can walk right into there, kill his lumber camps. That's simple as that.
Well, he's hopefully gonna see it coming. He could potentially have enough time to...
Miguel now queuing up some Huskars. Huskars should be able to clean all this up if he just gets a few of them. Looking back at Dobbs' base.
Oh, but look at that. He's gonna go forward with the spearman because he's repairing the TC. He doesn't have any villagers, so it's no longer an impediment. Oh, he's not...
It's so bad.
Getting pushed away by spearman feels bad, man.
I mean, it's a fight worth taking.
So...
Oh, he doesn't have Loom still.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, why has he not got Loom? That's suicide.
Well, that couple of Huskars is probably gonna be enough. Yeah, he pushed the entire army of spearmen.
Dobbs is on 2 TCs, so he's gonna somehow match the eco at some point. Both. There's still 10 villagers ahead for Miguel, but...
He should be able to start catching up now as Miguel's gonna lose the TC over there. He's gonna be left with...
The thing is though, the Goth cheaper infantry, we're gonna see some Huskars coming out and they're gonna do some damage.
I agree.
Of course, Scorpions, they don't do enough attack really against Huskars because Huskars have the high pierce armor. So...
Yeah.
Not going to be too helpful, but looks like Dobbs is moving back. I'm a bit confused about this one. Dobbs can see he can still clearly... Yeah, Dobbs can actually just come around the back and deal with the main gold even. That castle doesn't really protect it, so I don't see why he's leaving. Third TC coming up?
I'm not really sure, and actually he could have gone around and tried to push either the siege workshop or the new TC. I'm not sure if he was not expecting Miguel to go for an extra TC.
Well, it looks like Dobbs has added a third TC, so it looks like just going back to just essentially just boom instead. He didn't take map control when he had it. Neither player has Monastery, but Dobbs really should have been taking the relics. That's the point of Pike Mango. Secure the map control, take the relics. That secures pretty much any civ loss. Monastery now coming up though, makes a bit of sense. But he's way too late with it. He has units to take map control and now they're irrelevant.
I'm not sure if he had the resources a couple of minutes ago to go for Monastery. He could potentially have converted a couple of the husks.
Well, the 23 plus 2 was just mental. He should have done something like 25.
Yeah.
And also doing Pike Mango against Goths. That right off the bat, that makes no sense.
Well, this has been quite a nonsensical game already. But
well, of course he's got Dobbs in it.
Extra disease. He has 3 diseases, so Miguel added the 3rd one as well. So it seems like the villager difference is gonna keep like this. It's gonna stabilize at around 10 villagers.
So what are we seeing from Miguel? Miguel is still massing some Huskarls from his castle. That's fine, but no upgrades on them. Maybe he wants to get a bit of Pierce armor just to protect himself. Maybe he's basically reducing the spear damage from 3 to 2, which is huge. But protect himself on the Scorpions a little bit more. I think maybe he should be aiming to snipe monks.
It doesn't seem like he really has a lot of resources. He's adding more farms now because he wasn't able to afford making more Huskars. Right now, he's starting to get more food, so he might be able to get back into production. Do you think he's going to try to go for Imperial, or do you think he's going to try to go and mass army, Castle Age, and start?
I think he's going to boom to Imp. I think he's just going to make some Huskars to take map control if he can. And then if he does, then, you know, he's safe to keep booming. So he's not going to mass any like units like Mass Champion or something. That's kind of his go-to late game against Celts though, some Champion, but Hand Cannoneer mixed in as well. Champion don't trade too well against Wood Raiders, but they're of course a lot cheaper and easier to spam for the Goths.
Yeah, that sounds like a good combination. Miguel, I believe, because of the nature of Dobbs' push, he should realize that he is ahead, right? So do you think that's maybe why he's gonna try to boom instead of trying to be?
Well, I mean, I think judging by the scores, I think Miguel can really tell Dobbs a lot of scores from the Mangonel trades, obviously. So we're seeing lower, probably assuming a lower boom from Dobbs. I mean, Dobbs can only be booming because he did something that's essentially an all-in push. And then not following it up means that he's not doing that anymore. He can only really be booming.
Hey, don't you go silent on us, otherwise I'm gonna think that you're...
Well, right now we're currently seeing Lobby Simulator. I wish. I'm actually reading chat. Here we see a Ram and a Petard coming from Miguel, so Miguel's probably going to try and push through maybe a gate from Dobbs and go in with some Huskarls, cause a little bit of damage. Heavy plow coming from Miguel, scale wheel armor, wheelbarrow, he's getting those eco upgrades. His economy is definitely in a better shape with like plus 15 villagers at the moment.
What's your opinion on siege towers? Because right now, with the 2 petards, he can break the walls and he can go in right away. He doesn't need that hop, but the wall could potentially be rebuilt, right?
Yeah, well, you could also build behind the wall with a house to prevent siege towers.
Ah, that's a good point.
I mean, siege towers are really good early because A, they're surprise, and B, they're really particularly difficult to stop. Although I did have a game against Dobbs where I was Goths, he was Mines. I walled literally the entire inside of my wall with Palisade. Like the whole way around with Palisade. And he couldn't siege tower because it was too tough stick. That was the best game I've ever had with Dobbs.
That's what I was gonna mention. Because the siege tower is so quick when you have the units inside, you have
yeah, unless you're like properly expecting it. And yeah, if you do that in Dark Age, sure, but you're never going to be expecting that. A lot of civs do things like siege tower crossbow, that kind of stuff. Oh, and Miguel trying to... Yeah, accidentally Mangonel's the TC rather than the gate when the gate starts to get built. He's not going to be able to break in here, it's going to be difficult anyway. What time are you at?
33:05. How about you?
Hey, you're slightly ahead.
Alright.
I'm at 33:10 now. Alright, Wood Raiders vs Husks. The Woodies are going to win, but there's a lot more Husk girls. And they're focused on attacking the mangonel, so they're not going to get too many hits in. I reckon this is going to be at least an even fight, 2 units surviving for whoever wins. Okay, so now what? We're seeing Miguel going towards Imperial. We do have the Celtic economy, which is slightly better, but he is behind 9 villagers. Are we going to see Dobbs Imp? Doesn't look like it. He invested quite a lot into Castle Age Wood Raiders, and he's got quite a few queued up. So he's not going to imp even close to as fast. That's kind of a problem when Goths are imping and they have this much economy. 94 vills is enough to make, you know, a bunch of racks of anything.
Well, Dobbs was going for a university. I'm not sure if he's looking to try and research something or if he was just trying to go for the second castle age building. Although he's also going for a castle, so that was not necessary for that purpose.
Actually, now you mention it, I'm looking at the relics. Who's not picked up a relic? Ah, it's the one in the north. North Town Centre coming up for Miguel. I think he's just looking to secure that stone. He doesn't need more TCs just to make the last 20 villagers of his full boom. So, Wood Raiders, now Dobbs is finally imping, so Champions is going to be a good one. We see Iron Casting coming in for Miguel. He's only missing one more upgrade. When he is imp, he's going to get Blast Furnace maybe. Long Swordsmen are already out. And they're fully Castle Age upgraded. I'm assuming he did get Arson anyway. Yeah, definitely looks like it. So I think Miguel is going to just go full champion here. They'll kill the Wood Raiders, they'll kill the Spearmen, kill the Mangonels. The Scorpions will do a bit of damage, but there's only one Scorpion. I think making the Wood Raiders too early was Dobbs' issue here. He's not going for imp fast enough.
Yeah,
he's going to get slammed. Yeah.
It's going to be the only Scorpion there because he doesn't have a Siege Workshop anymore.
He doesn't really have the upgrades or the amount of units to fight this. He didn't imp quick enough, in my opinion. Oh, but he's getting the 4th relic, yeah.
Ah, that's good. So that's going to bring the relic count 4-1 once again.
It's pretty significant, but you know, when you're against Goths, you're going to have a bit of an issue. I do think
last game the relic count was 5-0, right?
Yes, eventually. Dobbs managed to pick them all up. He's a bit slow at it, but you know, he got them all and he had 5.6k relic gold by the end of the day, so.
Yeah, Miguel over there trying to force an engagement, not really successful. Now Dobbs going back. But oh, wait a moment. Yeah, some miss micro over there.
Those Wood Raiders don't have the upgrades to fight those champions, but they've got 8+2 vs 12+4, so that's like 6 attack less. Perfusion now coming in from Miguel. Perfusion's going to be huge, now he's researching champion as well. He has a reasonable amount of barracks, I see 4, building 2 more. That's going to be a lot of champions.
At this point the champions have already 7 extra attacks.
And also 1 more melee armor. The Wood Raiders should be quite good at killing the champions. I mean, the main thing about Wood Raiders is the creation speed. They're not like necessarily the strongest infantry unit, but they're comparable to things like Berserks with a lot less stats because they just create so quick from one castle. So I believe it's before conscription 10 seconds is the creation time for a Wood Raider.
Alright, so he's finally gonna lose all the mangonels over there in the score. What do you think of that trade?
Which one?
The trebuchets for
oh yeah, that's just a negative trade. Like, he could afford to let this castle go down. He's not going to stay Wood Raiders. He could then go champions later if he loses the castles. That's fine. But he needed to win by taking on that army. Losing all the units that he did just by essentially, you know, trying to get the trebs but not attacking the army. Not the best.
So the Wood Raiders, they can get creative faster, right? But how many barracks does Miguel have? He's going for 5 forward
Well,
barracks at this
Miguel
point.
already has Profusion, and he's now pop capped,
Oh,
and he's just basically making champions for all day. So if you look at the numbers, Dobbs has what 35 less villagers, and he has 60 less military. That's significant.
Well, yeah, this doesn't really look promising for purple.
And there's nothing at this point Dobbs can do to fight this unless he had like 30 siege workshops making scorpions in the back. He could,
Well,
of course,
an
move out,
interesting
but
push.
yeah, full champions will kill this, especially with arson. Castles get shredded by champions alone. Champions are a kill everything unit. I love them.
Well, at the very least, we saw a very aggressive, super interesting push over there by Dobbs.
Yeah, I would
So
say
he might have lost the game, but he won the heart of many viewers. Right.
We all know he's a pleb. The whole world now knows he's a pleb. But he went for a push that I would only describe as something you would do if you're going all in, but then didn't go all in. And sort of just ended up behind. Especially, I mean, a turning point could have been if he stopped making as many Castle Age Wood Raiders and just went to Imp. He might have had the text to fight back a little bit better. A little bit better of him as well. But that's just me. It's the best I could really think of in hindsight. Maybe if he massed a bit more Scorpions. I don't really know what he was expecting. Of course, against Goss, you don't know if you're going to see Champs or if you're going to see Huskarls. So you have to kind of assume which one. So that is
let's see.
Quickly update the score. I want to have a look at the achievements.
Yes.
Oh boy, military stats. 72 units killed for Dobbs and 104 lost. I mean, Goths are supposed to get a really bad KD, but, you know, when it's kills against Goths, that's unusual. Miguel did lose a lot of buildings. And that's about it. What did Miguel really lose? He just lost really the forward buildings, like some houses in front of his base, the siege workshop, the TC, that's about it.
Do you know if the outpost counts as a building?
Yeah. It would.
Might be that because he had a couple of outposts in the front, and I don't think he even lost the houses.
Either way. Looking at the economy scores, Miguel is 3k food ahead, about 4k-ish wood ahead, 500 stone less, but nearly 1k more gold, so overall he's collected, you know, a good 10k more resources in a shortish game, so... I mean, the old adage is don't let Goth boom, and Goth boomed, so... Dobbs did have 1.1k relic gold, which is, you know, nothing to be sniffed at. If you just make a monastery and a couple of monks to pick them up, you're putting in a very small investment for quite a lot of gold. So I think that's okay. Dobbs also a villager low of 98 compared to 130. Again, I think it's his all-in strategy without going all-in, because he tried to recover from going all-in and it didn't work out too well for him. His villager was just so behind early on. Doesn't matter too much later on, but early on it was pretty significant.
Yeah, I agree. You could potentially have tried to keep on pushing, probably pressure the other siege workshop or the TC that was going up by the wood. But yeah, somebody also mentioned, Michelangelo, I believe in chat, mentioned the possibility of adding a monastery. Do you think that would have been good? That would have made it?
Well, yeah, I mean, but even one single monk, as well as having like 4 relics really early, maybe 3 or 4, depends on how many he scouted, which wasn't that many. Then he would also have a monk to convert one single Huskarl, so he wouldn't have had to run away with his 10 army of spears just because 2 Huskarls. He could have converted one, been a lot better off, prevented that TC going up in the north before it was going up, taking care of the wood line. He could also then run around the back, do some damage around the main gold, maybe, you know, run into the back base of Miguel. That castle was not in the best placement to stop something like that, so I think if he did have an early monastery, he could have really, you know, turned the tides of the whole fight and just won the game from that point.
Yeah, I agree. That's a good point.
If I just like start coughing and dying and forget to mute my mic, just ignore me. But Yeah, I think when you're doing all-ins like that, you have to really be quite careful about adding a monastery.
And also, it was quite unfortunate that Dobbs ended up losing so many mangonels. He was doing a great job in the beginning, but then he started losing many.
Yeah, the trades were kind of even, which when you're dealing with Celts shouldn't really be the case because the faster fire mangonels should be a good game winner.
Yes, yeah, agree. I have the third game. Do you want to go for it right away, or do you want to go for a small?
Quick 2-minute break.
All right.
All right, so I'll let you know when I'm back.
Okay.
And I appear to be back.
That seems to be the case. I think you're back as well.
Who's back? I've never heard of her.
All right, I have the third game up.
All right, I'm going to click OK in a minute. 3, 2, 1. And I have a quick issue with Vibly, gotta restart replay. And we are back. Alright, so what time are you at? You got construction noises in the background again?
Yeah, sorry. I can go back. So I am at 0 once again.
Well, if you want to go back, then sure.
Yeah.
Right. Alright, back to 0. You ready?
Yes.
Alright, let's go. I just have this
Three.
occasional issue with Vibly. Oh, you're counting down.
All right. All right.
All right.
3, 2, 1.
All right. I have to explain, I have this occasional issue with Vibly where my spectator overlay disappears if I restart a game, or after I launch a few games, it just happens. So I have to restart the game and it comes back. Anyway, so we have Miguel.
No, nothing. Right. About the bully issue. Yeah, I see.
Right, so we have Miguel as the Mongols, and just to point out, you only have 3 deer. Something I always look for when I see Mongols, 3 or 4 deer. In Arena, you always push deer. 3 or 4 can be a significant difference. So looking over here, we also have Dobbs. He is the Magyars. Both these civs have great cavalry archers. Of course, the Mongols do have the Mangudai. The Mangudai does compare to the Magyar cavalry archer late game. But cavalry archers could be quite a problem for the Mangudai because of the recent, because of in expansions, cavalry archers are just in general cheaper. Elite Mangudai have some nerfs. The huge pierce armor on cavalry archers after Parthian tactics can be actually quite bad for the Mangudai. And then the unique tech for the Magyars might be quite strong, so are we going to see Mangudai play here? Maybe. Early Mangudais can still work. It takes quite a lot of economy to get cavalry archers up and running. That's why Huns do it, but Magyars, they're not going to really pull it off in early Castle Age.
And also, the Mangudai bone stack versus Siege is probably not going to be taken advantage of in this match, as Magyars don't get the great.
Yeah, their Siege is not great. No SO, no Siege RAM. I have to keep clearing my throat because I'm still pretty sick. Anyway, quick look at their maps. We do have Dobbs has a really safe main gold. He has a safe second gold way in the back. 3 deer, not the best as Mongols, but it's still nice to have 3 inside deer. It's just there's a big mental factor about having inside deer compared to outside deer. It just makes the game so much more pleasant to play. Main stone not so good. You might want to be a bit aggressive because that main stone's pretty bad. Berry's a little bit forward. If he gets trushed, he's actually a quite huge risk here because his stones really are not that good. But Mongols, of course, they're up quite fast, so Magyars with no eco bonus trusting them might be a bit wasted.
I would like to ask you, there are a couple of golds on the back for Dobbs. There's one at the very, very end of his map. Yeah. Is that a neutral gold that got bugged inside his base?
Yes, you can get the map golds in your back base easily. The extra golds,
right.
In Arena you get your standard main gold per person, 2 secondary golds per person. But a 2-player map size, as well as the main stone and second stone you get per person, you'll get 2 extra golds of 3 tiles each, and 1 extra stone, which can either be 4 or 3 tiles. So Dobbs has both the extra golds in his map.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's quite fortunate for him.
Well, it's
now the issue is that, not so much of an issue because he still has the other neutral gold, but the one at the end of this map, it's a bit hard to access. It's going to be hard to saturate or anything, but he still has the other one, so he's clearly at an advantage here in terms of gold.
Well, it's really key to know these things for scouting because, for example, he knows he's got 2 extra golds, so he knows that Miguel has no extra golds. If he scouts Miguel's base, he can see the 1 extra gold. So he knows Miguel has no extras in the back, and he has a main gold and a second gold that he can't scout, which could mean that he does have a safe map gold-wise. But, if he could scout all of Miguel's 3 golds, then he would know he doesn't have any extras in the back. So that's important knowledge to know for Arena if you're playing. Just based on what you scout, not just their map, but where the neutrals are on the map.
Right, makes sense.
So, not seeing too much of a build order. Dobbs is behind the villager. He's only behind, only about 35% of the villager. That's not the end of the world. No. He just maybe had some idle time, lateness on the boar or something like that.
Yeah, not so significant.
No second number cap yet for Miguel.
The Mongols, how do they use their great Dark Age economy in Arena? What's the usual thing that you see in Mongols?
It's usually used for a very, very fast boom into options like Arbalast, but it's not as commonly used for things like Magadai, of course, and the Siege as well. It's quite hard to get that up and running. So something like RPC Drum could be decently common for the Mongols. It's not that great of a bonus when it comes to that though. A much better thing they could do is Castle Age push. They could fast FC into something like, maybe if they want to go Magadai, they can go Magadai. But something like Cavalry Archers is a lot stronger, because Mongol Cavalry Archers firing 33% faster is huge. One of the strongest units in the game in Castle Age, in my opinion. Just the problem with that is when you go into Imperial, you don't have upgrade potential really, because without Parthian tactics, they're not that good. That's not Parthian, it's Ring Archer armor they're missing.
Yeah.
So
well, now with the goal. With the goal situation for Miguel, I mean, with the lack of extra goals or with the addition of extra goals for Dobbs, that's gonna make it even a bit worse. The fact that the Magadai are in general a bit more expensive.
Well, the thing that's going to be happening here is that both players are going to be safe towards the late game. So the only issue is if one pushes the other, it's not going to go very far. It's going to get towards the late game, and maybe one wins, maybe one doesn't. But the important thing here is, of course, the Mongol Onager, especially if they get drill. So Dobbs, of course, like the cavalry archers of the Magyars will melt anything the Mongols can make except the siege, and the siege is what Mongols are quite good at. So I don't see Dobbs planning cavalry. So yeah, the only slight saving grace would be like Magyar Hussar or something are going to be okay at sniping the siege, but they're never realistically that good. If they're, you know, if there's anything else on the field like the Magadai might be or the cavalry archers, they're not going to work. I would like to see CA, but we do see 3 on stone from Miguel and Dark Age, 27+2 into a nice Magadai push, I'm assuming.
Let's see.
Decent amount of wood, 2 on gold. Yeah, he's going to go Magadai from Miguel. They're going to be strong enough. I mean, the Castle Age Magadai did get a slight buff from AOC.
Sorry, what?
The Castle Age Magadai, they have a slight buff from AOC.
Oh, alright. Yeah, I'm not super familiar with the AOC days. I started playing this competitively kind of recently, so only while looking.
Well, the frame delay on Magadai, Elite Magadai used to be 0, and Castle Age Magadai used to be 10. When it was 0, that means as soon as you move and then you right click on an enemy, they'll instantly shoot. But with 10, there's no delay. But
I mean, I remember the discussion around that.
Now Elite Magadai got Elite Magadai got nerfed, and then Castle Age Magadai got buffed. They went from 10 delayed to 5, I believe. So
I see.
They're able to compete with cavalry archers, but they're still, you know, castle production against multiple ranges. Is that kind of thing.
Yes.
Looking at Dobbs' build, Dobbs looks like obviously he's going to be going scouts. Scouts is okay, but against Mongols, I mean, what can Mongols really be doing that can warrant going scouts? You could prevent them building a forward castle, but this isn't like some 16x HD game, so it's unlikely to happen. Dobbs looks like he's just going for standard 28+2 scouts into semi-boom, semi-aggression, that kind of thing. Pretty common, commonly known
cavalry archers. Because of the cavalry archers from the Magyar player, that means that potentially Mongol camels are going to be kind of useless.
Yeah, Mongol don't really have any options against cavalry archers. But of course they do have the better economy, and if he's early enough with something like the Magadai that he seems to be wanting to go for, then he should be able to put on some decent pressure. I think maybe instead of going scouts, if Dobbs opened cavalry archers. But of course if you go scouts you could then go into cavalry archers because you've already got your stable to get your husbandry and bloodlines.
Hey, to people in chat saying I'm not competitive, or I am a low-level competitive player. I try super hard to beat other noobs.
I lost a live KGB earlier, that was embarrassing. I think he was trying to point trade to get to 2k though, so that's fun times. Either way, I mean, not enough in the Lebowski emotes. I believe we should try and promote that a little bit more. That's not what I meant alt tab to. Ah, that looks so beautiful in the on-screen chat. So anyway, the scouts for the Magyar player, of course, are strong and they're going to kill a lot of things, especially monk civs. You know, Magyars kind of a really difficult civ to fight. But against the Mangudai, the scouts are a complete waste. They're going to get wrecked. I mean, the monastery is only just coming up now, but it's going to be up the same time as the castle. So by the time that Dobbs starts making monks, he's probably going to get sniped by the Mangudai anyway. So he's not really secure in the map control all too well. Maybe he might get one relic, maybe he'll get two.
What time are you at?
I am at 1712.
Alright.
Second TC coming up from the Mongol player. I heard Dobbs build a TC. Yeah, Dobbs is going to 3 TC behind the scouts, whereas we're going to see 2 TC Mangudai.
18.
Hmm?
Let me know when you hit 18.
Okay. I don't understand why you're running faster than me. Game 1 went fine, but now this is a bit weird.
Yeah, no idea.
Alright, 18.
Perfect. Hello?
Yep.
Okay.
I wasn't speaking, I just died. But
Oh.
alright, one relic coming in from Dobbs at this point. He's probably going to get the other one as well, so maybe 2 relics. 2 relics is going to be nice. It's going to be a nice helpful thing, especially since we're not seeing any monastery from the Mongol player. So the Mongol player is going to take map control, but he's going to push. He's not going to really try and take the relics or anything along those lines. I mean, what can Miguel scout? Looking at Miguel's scout on the map, he can't see any of the extra golds. He can see 1 second gold from Dobbs. He can see the main gold up front. He can see the main stone. But he clearly knows that there must be a really safe stone and at least 1 really safe gold back there. One of my favourite team bonuses in the game is Mongol scouts, because any civ in a team game especially, you just find your scout can actually scout things. It's nice.
Well, so do you think you were saying that Miguel is scouting here, but he didn't find the golds? Is it then possible that he thinks that golds are blocked inside the trees?
Oh, I mean, extra golds are almost never bugged. So if you actually scout the entire side of the map and you don't find them, the chances are they're in someone's back base and probably usable. So his scouting has a lot of patches.
Probably going to have an impact on Miguel.
I mean, he knows that his map is going to be hard to push, but he seems to want to push it. Maybe he doesn't want to get late game towards the cavalry archers. Maybe he doesn't think he can get onager in time. One of the most underestimated units is onagers when you've got drill researched. They just kill everything. Like, every time I'm Mongols, if I boom, I will just get Siege Workshop Castle, get drill, and the onagers just flatten any aggression an opponent tries to make.
Let's see. Now Miguel is...
I turned in.
Yes. What time are you at?
I'm at 2150.
Okay. Yeah, fairly close.
There's a few villagers down from Dobbs. They're now actually equal. Dobbs is 3 TC compared to just the 2 of Miguel, but, you know, he's now down. 3rd TC coming up from Miguel, though. So if Miguel kills any more villagers, he's actually going to start being ahead in the economy.
Yeah, that's a nice quick wall as well from Dobbs, so that's going to prevent further damage.
Yeah, the Mangudai don't have bloodlines or any armor upgrades yet, so...
So at this point, it seems like Dobbs just pretty much ignoring Miguel. He's not going for any units that I can see, actually. Oh, there you go. So he's going to start queuing a couple of cavalry archers.
He's not going for any units when he has 3 ranges in the back. But
yeah, I mean, he was.
I think if he went skirms, skirms would do better here than cavalry archers. Dobbs is an arena player. He is almost religiously an arena player. He does occasionally play BF and we insult him for it, rightly so. Anyway, the CA here are going to be really strong, but, you know, compared to stats, they're just, you know, 10 less HP really, that's about it. Frame delay is kind of noticeable. The Mangudai can actually out-micro the CA. But, you know, triple range, he should be able to outmaster the Mangudai really easily, so let's see what Dobbs does. I don't see him building a stable to get bloodlines or husbandry, so he's already got stable, but I don't see him using it to get bloodlines or husbandry yet. Villager count, Dobbs is 4 ahead, Miguel is same amount of TCs though, so it shouldn't be that big of a difference. I think Miguel's probably planning to put on a bit of a push. I think maybe...
Dobbs right now seems to be struggling to produce from all 3 ranges, as he had all 3 of those inactive, and now he's only queuing from 2.
Yeah, but it's like, you know, in Arabia Pocket, sometimes you open double stable knights, but you only make, after the first 6 knights, then you only run 1 stable. It just gives you that little boost that you need at the time you need it. Miguel getting archer armor, but Dobbs getting bloodlines, which is more important. Both getting now bloodlines, actually. So
Miguel's gonna get pinched now.
Yep, he's not gonna keep those Mangudai alive. He doesn't really have more Mangudai on the map either. He does have the few on the left side, but those can also just basically get blocked from leaving. You can see the big difference in the frame delay and attack rate there though.
Well, there you go. That's for Miguel's suppression. He's going now for a forward castle, so that's gonna bring his production capacity up by 100.
Well, he was planning to build that castle inside, but now he's building out there, which is, you know, safer. He could technically build it inside, but obviously look at the army difference. If you tried to build it any more further forward, then he's not going to be able to keep it alive. Economy-wise, Dobbs is still 4 villagers ahead. They're pretty similar, but his military count is actually skyrocketing at the moment. I think he still should have gone maybe skirms, just... I think 10 skirms would have just been that much cheaper, cleared out the Mangudai. He could re-wall, take back control, wouldn't lose as many villagers, so it'd be pretty safe.
Well, it's not like he can do any damage with cavalry archers once he clears the Mangudai up. So potentially, yeah, going for skirmishers would have been cheaper.
Would have definitely been more useful anyway. But now the wall's patched up, so it looks like Miguel is stuck outside until at least decent bit later game. We're looking at 2 relics for Dobbs and no relics for Miguel. No monastery. Oh, Miguel does have a monastery, picking up 1 relic. So what are we going to see? Two castles producing Mangudai should definitely be faster than the 3 ranges. As well as, of course, the Mangudai are just a bit better, a bit more HP, but the better firing is really, really important here.
Yeah, I remember all the players complaining when the Mangudai got nerfed about the pleasure of microwaving old Mangudai, elite Mangudais.
The impossible to stop elite Mangudai, yeah.
Yeah.
Just killing all paladins by just running, instantly shooting and then running away again. You basically don't stop.
Yeah.
Miguel now getting ballistics.
The games were played earlier today? Or
Nah, further behind than that.
Oh, okay.
A few days ago. I was just like, I need to get some content ahead of time, so I'll just go for that.
Yeah, makes sense.
Anyway, looking at this, Miguel's going to imp really fast. He's now getting leather archer armor, so he's going to be on par with upgrades at least with Dobbs. He said he's going to have a slightly better unit. Overall, I think Miguel's got a good chance here because he's just going to have the upgrades, what, 2.5 minutes faster than Dobbs. So as long as Miguel pushes at the right time when he hits imp, then he could probably clean up Dobbs' army pretty easily if he forces an engagement. I like how this is going for Miguel, to be honest.
Well, it could be the case.
Dobbs is on stone, but he's not getting a castle yet. He's a bit far from it. Don't know why I just had a bit of lag there.
He's gonna go for another castle.
I think if Dobbs builds a castle to make Magyar Hussar, it's not going to work, really. So what is Miguel's plan? What siege is he going to go for? Because I don't see a siege workshop from him yet. I don't see him trying to build forward. He's now getting elite Mangudai. He's not getting bracer. No bracer, no chemistry. It's still a little bit odd, but you know, okay.
What, going for bracer instead of chemistry? He's going for chemistry now.
Are you a little bit ahead?
Probably. What's your time?
I'm at 3150.
Oh, damn. Okay, let me know when you're at 33.
Full minute ahead. The thing with recurve bow is the Magyar unique tech theme, +1 attack, +1 range. It makes the cavalry archers a lot stronger than the post-imp Mangudai. Like, a lot stronger. But the thing is, they're not going to survive against the siege from Mongols. The siege rams are going to just delay them a bit, but also the onagers will kill them. With drill, it's just, there's no way that the CA are really going to survive. Mongol siege is just too good. So I have an inferior cavalry archer, but the siege will carry it. I'm at almost there. I'm at 33 now.
Perfect.
Parthian tactics coming from Miguel at the same time as chemistry, so this is going to be fully upgraded. Does he have husbandry? No, he doesn't. Miguel is still lacking husbandry, but when he gets that, they're going to be fully upgraded. Finally, a siege workshop from Miguel. I don't really see.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah, I don't see why he's being so low. Like, he needed siege earlier. He's investing too much into Mangudai. Maybe he doesn't have the way to make siege workshops. I would assume.
Well, now that he got Partisan Tactics, getting for Thumbring, that's the only upgrade that's missing, right? He already has all the attack, all the.
Yeah, he's just missing husbandry.
Alright, okay.
But yeah, taking too long to get the siege out, but now he has. I think it's going to be quite hard to stop. He's not researching Onager, he can't afford it. His economy's... He spent a lot of resources. His economy still looks pretty decent, but it doesn't look like he's really... He's maybe a bit short on the farmers actually. It doesn't look like he has the resources to start working towards Onager upgrades, drill, that kind of thing. So he's going for Cat Ram, a little bit of a cheaper alternative. Is it better? I don't really know. The CA from the Magyars though? The CA are probably going to be kind of an equal trade-off here. They don't have the archer armor upgrade yet. They're just about to get it. He's missing the unique tech. Now that I bring archer armor, they should be able to clear these elite Mangudai up decently.
Seems to be going in favor of the Mangudai.
Well, the Mangudai do obviously far better. They also have +2 attack, which makes up for missing it. But I really think...
That was quite comic. There were a couple of Mangudai over there just fighting casually, and they're a giant fireball falling down from the sky, and as the trebuchet shoots in one of them.
No, trebs are good at clearing up units. Have you never seen Japanese? Dobbs just needed to get recurve bow.
Kataparuta, yes.
I think recurve bow would have been almost as important as many of those other upgrades, really. It feels like Dobbs didn't have to take this engagement because Miguel had no siege. So if he just waited till he got recurve bow, I mean, looking at Dobbs' resources, he could definitely have afforded it. Recurve bow would have allowed him to melt the Mangudai, and there's no siege yet from Miguel to really stop it. He's got now 2 rams queued up, which are capped, not siege. And Dobbs getting
He's
HCA.
going for siege ram right now, though.
Yeah, Dobbs getting heavy cavalry archer. That's not a good move. I mean, it's good to get if you can afford it, but recurve bow is more important right away, and then you get HCA when you can afford it. Honestly, HCA is kind of low on the priority of upgrades because for the same cost you get things like your thumb ring, bracer, chemistry, those kind of really specific upgrades. Now Dobbs losing more villagers though, because Miguel is 113 vills compared to 91. That's a 22 villager difference, which can obviously win games. Now we're about to see Magyar HCA without the unique tech vs the Mangudai. And the HCA should trade kind of equally. Are they equal? They have 2 more pierce armor but 1 less attack against the frame delay of the Mangudai. That's definitely a tricky one, but now the siege rams are going to come in, they're going to sponge all the damage. So we need some sort of cavalry from Dobbs with +4 cavalry armor. Either the Magyar Hussar or some Cavalier. He can't really afford either in good upgrade amounts. so he's not really going to have a time sniping the siege. Drill almost in for Miguel, as well as conscription, so he's going to make Magadai faster, which is obviously pretty important at the moment. 3 castles going up to 4 castle production.
Super fast. So Dobbs saw that Miguel was going heavily into Magadai. He didn't see any other units, and he's going now for cavalry archers. He's going to have to micro here. Yeah. Do you think he was expecting the rams? I think it's probably to be expected, as both players were going for cavalry archers.
Yeah, the rams probably perform a little bit better than the onagers. The onagers will still kill the Magyar CA, but with recurve bow they could kind of be sniped, so I think maybe rams is a slightly better decision. Still no recurve bow from Dobbs, it's like he forgets it exists, and as the big Nabowski pointed out,
he's going for it now.
Dobbs only just got bowsaw at 40 minutes. Dobbs just cannot be bothered to micro against that. That's a lot of siege rams. Oh, I just saw for a minute there Dobbs tried to get mercenaries rather than recurve bow.
Well, yeah, now with that amount of cavalry archers, trying to micro and shoot one Magadai at a time, it's a lot of wasted damage. Oh, and there you go. Well, that was kind of surprising.
I think you're still a bit ahead, but the siege rams just killing everything, so there still is nothing Dobbs can do against the rams. If he just got recurve bow a little bit earlier, because it does match the attack of the Magadai, at the same time it gives them the extra range, which is essential when they've already got 2 pierce armor more. So I think the CA could have really killed the Magadai if he just got recurve bow earlier. It's too important of a tech to forget about like he had for so long. Against the siege rams though, maybe he could have got onager, maybe he could have got +4 cavalry. It's difficult to tell though. Mongols shouldn't be able to get to this stage in a lot of games.
Well, that's probably related to the skill difference. That's still 200.
Well, what I would say at this point is the cavalry archers was a very specific decision to go into cavalry archers to combat the Magadai. If he went skirms, he would have been able to do what he wanted to do, which was boom. Like, just even 10 skirms would have done it. Or, since he went so heavily into cavalry archers, he should have pushed right then and there. Just like straight up, just make enough cavalry archers, kill the Magadai, start pushing forward with cavalry archers, get good pierce armor upgrades. Just start pushing, go full mass. You have 3 TCs, but just idle 2 of them. So that way you just sort of, you know, you've got your extra like 30 vills from having 2 more TCs. Use that to your advantage rather than keep running your TCs. And just like full on push. He kind of tried to do both. I don't think that worked too well. I think maybe he should have gone for skirms, so it would have been worked out a bit better.
Right, yeah, for defensive units, skirms probably made more sense. That's also what I was wondering earlier. As he started producing more cavalry archers, I thought that it was probably not the best since he had no way to push with those because the only hole in the wall had the castle behind it. So, and at that point, he didn't really have a lot of cavalry archers either. Well, so I mean, it's quite a puzzling choice for sure.
He could have pushed still if he did just go for the CA though, because if you look where the castle is, Dobbs can push from the left, being out of range of the castle. He's got a lot of room to the right of that castle as well to push. So I think maybe if he wanted to push, he probably could have.
With some siege.
Yeah, just some rams actually, because normal Magadai still don't kill rams that quickly.
Right. Okay. Makes sense.
I'm just glad these commands work. I love them.
Perfect.
I'll have to change one thing for the to update the scoreboard and those work as well. Anyway, quick look at the achievements.
Okay.
Wow, units killed 53 compared to 100, and that is including a lot of the early Magadai. That's a lot of expensive cavalry archers and some villagers to be losing in that time. That's quite significant losses. Food collected, wood collected. Dobbs did have noticeably better BIM, really. Just less stone and a little bit less gold, but he did have more relics. It looks like from the villager high, Dobbs just stopped booming when he probably should have kept going. I think he could have ended up full boomed before the end of that game.
How long was it for Dobbs to research Bolso? Because he still managed to collect more
40
wood.
minutes.
Oh boy.
That's a lot of wood down the drain. Maybe like a couple thousand at that point.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, the relic gold 1.2k compared to 400. It was 3-to-1 relics for most of the game.
Hey, so do relic the relic gold, is it also accounted for in the eco tab, or is it only available on society? I mean, he got how much? 10k, almost 11k gold. Is that taken into account the relic gold, or is it separate?
I am pretty sure it is, like very sure. Yeah, it must be, because if you look at the amount of mines that Dobbs has mined, those ones in the back, like a good 800 has gone from them. 4 tiles there, that's good. 4k-ish. No, just good 3,200. Main gold pretty untouched. Yeah, he probably has like a fraction of as many. Yeah, that gold must have come from the relics.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just something I forget about. I've definitely looked into this before and I've already forgotten about it. So that's how it goes.
Yeah, it's quite trivial. In all honesty.
Anyway, my voice is going really badly, so I need to probably call it here. That's the end of the best of 3. So.
All right. That was a good show match. Thank you so much for hosting it.
Yep. When's the where's the schedule? Where's nobody with this overlay schedule? Schedule. There we are. All right. So Friday 22 GMT. Is there nothing else on Friday? Is it just me on Friday?
Yes.
I thought nobody usually does something else Fridays. Games of the week
on Tuesday.
Alright, so the next stream's coming up is going to be Games of the Week on... Oh, yesterday? I thought he usually does that on Fridays. Oh well. The next one's going to be 22 GMT on Friday. It's me with more Arena Clown action. I don't see anyone after that, actually. When's your next stream?
On Tuesday.
Fair enough.
Yeah, going for Tuesdays. All the weeks.
Arabia Clown Tuesdays, nice. Anyway, I'm going to call it here, so thanks everyone for watching this clown stream. There's going to be more clown action on Arena on Friday 22 GMT with me. I might have a guest caster, Joshua, but I have not considered asking him yet, so we'll see how that goes. There might also be community games on Friday if anyone is interested in joining. So right, goodbye to the stream.
Alright, goodbye everyone. Thank you for having me.